let me start this discussion off by asking you, what should an employee look for from an MNC perspective and from a startup perspective? Of course, the MNC provides a more broader level experience, whereas a startup provides a variety of experience, a vast variety, as well as a good set of leadership qualities start to build into the employee. So how should an employee look at it? And from an employer standpoint, right, startups are more volatile, so people are more reluctant to join startups. So what kind of employees should look to join startups? What mentality should you have, and what kind of a pitch should startups make versus MNCs when they try and hire?
Okay, so I think it's not just MNC versus startup. It's also the kind of business, the kind of function that you're in, and what is the stage of the business. So startups also are at various stages of growth. And so it depends, for example, freshers who are just coming into the business environment, who are just starting their first jobs. For them, learning is a very, very important thing. So it depends on what kind of learning are they going to get. What are the opportunities available to them. Now, MNCs tend to have very well developed training programs. So if you're in a kind of a very well established function, say like a sales or a marketing, then maybe an MNC might be a good thing, especially if you want exposure to other countries and other cultures. With startups, what happens is there's a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty. So if you have a high degree of suppose you're attracted to informality in working structures. MNCs tend to be formal. The larger the organization, the more formal it becomes. So it also depends on what is your style and your personality and what you want to work with. It also depends on your stage of life, right? What are you looking for? Now, there's this common thing that and during my research, a lot of people brought it up that to work for a well-established large company, which is in many countries, means there is a certain stability and growth which is assured. Unfortunately, in today's business environment, with all the layoffs that are happening, we can't say that either, right? So, stability is something that is going. And so I think, everybody needs to be ready for what it is that they are looking for at that stage of their life and their career. When it's a large established company, you tend to have a little bit more work-life balance. In a startup, you don't tend to have that, because in a startup, there's tremendous pressure. The business objectives tend to be very, very, out of reach. And, I have a few friends who've been working for startups, and I can see from, their experiences that the pressure just gets even crazier, and pressure in any sense, in any corporate job is there. It's something that, is very much a part of our experience and our culture.
Right. And let me take that, just the one point that you've made from that is that it depends on what you want to do in the future. Now, with regard to how AI is coming through, with regard to the way, at least I've used ChatGPT, and it's quite fascinating the way AI is able to respond very uniquely to every question that we're putting across. So what kind of a job skill, a job profile, or what are those qualities and traits that one must look for in a job today to make sure that 10 years from now you're not redundant?
I think, see, one of the things that I have seen coming across, which maybe contributes to the intense pressure in the environment, is that we are very focused on quantitative deliverables. I think the qualitative is where human beings, really have a strength. And I don't know when and if AI will be able to catch up with that. So, skills like interpersonal skills, creativity, if chatbots and AI are already, in fact, in use. One of the sectors I would like to use as an example is the banking sector. I am not a very tech savvy person, but neither am I somebody who's uncomfortable with technology. And yet I find, using banking apps and all a little difficult. Now, people who are uncomfortable, and a lot of us would be helping our parents and, older people kind of, use it, the very measures that they've used to protect our privacy and to make sure that, that our funds are not misused are the measures that actually interfere with the user experience. So many people, including me and including people who are more technologically savvy than me, will say, I just wish I could talk to a human being. I've even had the experience where I've gone to a bank because I couldn't understand the automated call system. And the bank employee told me that I'd love to help you, but, we are not authorized to do this. Only that AI chatbot, whatever they have on the call center, is able to do this. So they've had to figure it out for me and do it for me because I just couldn't figure it out myself. So the thing is that, while AI is developing and we should definitely use it wherever we can, we should also remember that, at the end of the day, we are human beings and we want human interactions. We want personalization and customization, and we want somebody to answer our specific questions without giving us a whole encyclopedia of irrelevant information. Like even FAQs, sometimes the FAQs don't answer your query. So, then if you don't have a number to call or some, live person to chat with, you're lost. Yes, I think technology is a great tool, but we have to remember it has its limitations, and therefore we need to develop our skills in terms of creativity, innovation, the things where we see AI as not being able to go as yet.
Well, yes, so true, right? These days with, some of the e-commerce websites using more of the IVR rather than,
Right,
using real people, it's proven to
right,
be, I have faced, despite being almost born in the 1990s, I have faced a bit of a
right.
challenge in terms of my interactions. So I can completely understand that relationships is what I understand is the key or holds the fundamental with regard to the future. At least that's a guarantee.